Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Somesh Kumar. So in the previous lecture we discussed about the basics of the counter and we also discussed about the mode N counter, mode 5 counter and so on. Basically we discussed about the ripple counter, that is our asynchronous counter. Now in this lecture we will discuss the next counter, that is the ring counter. Ring counter is basically our the synchronous counter. So in this lecture we will discuss all the basics of the ring counters, its circuit diagram, its operation and its waveform. So next topic is our ring counter. So now we will discuss about the ring counter. So basically ring counter is our serial input serial output register with feedback. So we already discussed about the serial input serial output register. So in this serial input serial output register, input is serially given and output is also taken serially. Fine. So you all know the diagram of serial input serial output. So here we are discussing 4-bit ring counter. So 4-bit ring counter means how many flip-flops are needed? So 4-bit ring counter, 4 flip-flops are needed here like this. Also, if we are discussing about the 4-bit serial input serial output register, if you are saying the 4-bit, then in the 4-bit 4 flip-flops are needed. Fine. So these are 4 flip-flops. Fine. So you know the shift register can be made by using JK flip-flop, by using D flip-flop. So here I am using the D flip-flop. So here I am saying our third flip-flop D3, Q3, this is Q3 bar, this is D2, I am saying Q2, Q2 bar, this is our D1, Q1, Q1 bar, this is D0, Q0 and Q0 bar. Fine. So you know in the serial input serial output shift register, input is given serially like this, and also we are taking output serially. Fine. So this ring counter is also over the synchronous counter. Fine. This is one of our synchronous counter. And in the previous lecture we discussed about the ripple counter, that was our asynchronous counter. Asynchronous counter means clock is given, different clock is given to different flip-flops. Fine. But this is our synchronous counter. So the same clock is given to all these flip-flops. This is the meaning of our synchronous counter. Fine. The same clock is given. Here the triggering in this ripple counter, triggering is not important. You can use positive as triggered or the negative as triggered. So triggering did not affect. Fine. The truth table remains same. Fine. So I am saying this is our clock. Fine. So basically this is our serial input serial output register with feedback. So here feedback is given to the input like this. So this is our ring counter. Fine. Why it is called the ring counter? Because its circuit is like in the form of ring, means output is given to the input. That's why it is called the ring counter. It is also called the one shot counter because first we have to disconnect this feedback from here and we have to give the input here. Otherwise our flip-flops or our counter does not work. So basically we can say our ring counter is not self-generating circuit. Fine. So for the operation, first we have to disconnect the input from the output and manually we have to give the input 1. So this is not self-generating circuit. Fine. Now we will study it's the truth table. So I am saying here this is the clock, this is Q3, Q2, Q1 and Q0. Fine. So what happens in the initially when no clock is applied? When no clock is applied, all the output we have to set at 0, means all the flip-flops should be at clear position. So Q3, Q2, Q1, Q0 should be 0. Now in the next state or at the first clock, this 1 is given to the input D3 and this is Q3. So after first clock, Q3 becomes D3 because you know in the D flip-flops Q1 plus 1 is equal to the D. Fine. So here this Q3 becomes 1 and Q2 remains 0, Q1 also remains 0, Q0 remains 0. Now in the next clock, this 1 now goes to this D2. Now in the next cycle, again this 0 is feedback again here, fine, and 0 comes at Q3 and this 1 is propagated to this Q2. Fine. In the next clock, again this 1 is propagated to the next here, fine, and this becomes 0. In the fourth clock, this 0 is given feedback to the Q3, this 0, this 0, this 1. Now in the fifth clock, now here the 1 comes. Now this 1 is given feedback to the again this D3. Now again this D3 becomes 1 and Q3 becomes 1 again here. Now again it's 0, again 0, again 0. Now in the sixth cycle, what happens? Now again this 1 goes to here, this 0, 1, 0, 0 and so on. Fine. So this process will repeat itself after how many clock cycles? After 4 clock cycles. See, first to fourth, this 1 is propagated from this Q3 to Q0, fine, in first to fourth clock cycle. Now in the next clock cycle, fifth to again 8th, fine, 7 and 8th, again this 1 is propagated from Q3 to Q0, fine. So in the 4-bit ring counter, how many total number of state? You know, in the n-bit ring counter there are 2n states. So if I am here, this is 4-bit, so there are 16 states. But how many states are used from this truth table? Only 4 states are used. So number of unused states in 4-bit ripple counter. So number of unused state is here 16 minus 4. So 12. Fine. For n-bit counter, number of unused state is 2n minus n. Fine. So this is the number of unused states in n-bit ring counter. Fine. So in this ring counter, the time period of clock should be greater than equal to, because it is synchronous counter, so it should be greater than equal to T PD F, propagation delay of flip-flops, plus setup time. So basically setup time is the minimum time. So setup time is the minimum time to keep data ready before the clock. So here the time clock should be greater than equal to the TPDF plus T setup time. For example, in our D flip-flops, so these are our D flip-flops, fine. So this is input X, suppose I am saying, and this is connected to here, fine. So this input is propagated to the output and here this output, fine. So the time required to keep this data, this output to ready to give this input, that is called the setup time, fine. So that's why in the synchronous circuits this setup time is required, or setup time is added with the propagation delay of our flip-flops for the total clock period of our clock. Fine. So here what is FCLK should be less than equal to the T PDF plus T. So this is the frequency of our clock required for this ring counter. Now we will study the timing diagram of our ring counter. Fine. So basically in the timing diagram we will first draw the clock. So you know in the 4-bit ring counters maximum possible number of state is 2 to power n. Fine, means the 16. So I am saying this is our clock. This is our clock here. So this is, I am saying positive as triggered. It may be negative as triggered. It will not affect the operation of our ring counter. It may be positive as triggered, maybe negative as triggered. So this is our positive S. So first we will draw the Q3. So now first we will study that in the timing diagram. First we will study the Q3 waveforms. So from the truth table of this ring counter, you know this Q3 becomes 1 in the clock 1, and up to 4th clock it remains 0, and it again becomes 1 in the 5th clock. So this is over the positive edge of our clock 1. So now this at this clock 1 it becomes 1, and it remains 1 up to 2nd clock like this. Fine, and it again becomes 1 in this 5th clock like this. Fine. So now we will draw the output Q2 here. So from this truth table, Q2 remains 1 in the 2nd clock. So it remains 1 in the 2nd clock, and again it remains 1 in the 6th clock like this. Now we will draw next, that is our Q1. So from this truth tables, Q1 remains 1 in the 3rd clock. So it remains 1 in the 3rd clock. Again it remains 1 in the 7th clock like this. Now we will draw Q0. So Q0 remains 1 in the 4th clock like this. So remains 1 in the 4th clock, and so on. Fine, like this. Fine. So what is the frequency? If the frequency of the clock is F, fine. So if the frequency of the clock is, or we can say T clock is this. Fine. So what is the frequency of Q3? See, this is our 1 cycle, full 1 cycle. Fine. So this Q3 should be F upon 4. Similarly, this Q2 should be, see, this one is our complete 1 cycle, positive and negative. Fine. So this is F4. Similarly, Q1 should be F4, and Q0 should be F upon 4. Fine. So if the input frequency in this ring counter is F, so here's F3, F upon 4, Q2, F upon 4, Q1, F upon 4, and Q0, F upon 4. Fine. Next, so what is the maximum phase difference between this Q2 and Q3? Here the maximum phase difference is 90 degree. Now what is the phase difference between Q2 and the Q1? See, this one is only 90 degree difference. Similarly, 90 degree difference. So in the n bit counter or n bit ring counter, successive waveforms have 360 degree upon n phase difference. So it is 4-bit counter. So here the successive phase difference is or 90 degree. For the n bit it is 360 upon, and this type of questions are very important from objective point of view or from PSU point of view. Fine. So similarly, the ring counter we can design with the help of JK flip-flop. So in the JK flip-flop, this is our 4 JK flip-flop. So here we are discussing 4-bit ring counter. So this is our J3, K3, this is Q3, Q3 bar. Similarly J2, Q2, J1, Q1, Q1 bar, K1, here J0, K0, Q0 and Q0 bar. So this is our ring counter. Fine. Here, because this is serial input serial output registers with feedback, so this feedback should be given like this. So this is a ring counter with JK flip-flops. All other working remains same, only that D flip-flops can be replaced by the JK flip-flop. Fine. So this is a ring counter with JK flip-flop. Fine. Now we will discuss one question based on this ring counter. So this question is, in the circuit shown below, find the sequence. So this is basically our one circuit which is given here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Fine. So this is 0, 0, 0, 0. Now these 3 inputs or 3 outputs is given to one NOR gate like this. So what is the sequence? So this 0, 0, 0, what is the output here? If all inputs are 0, 0, what is the output of our NOR gate? So here the output is 1. Fine. So the sequence should be 1, 0, 0 like this. Now what becomes? This becomes 0 because any input of this NOR is 1, then the output becomes 0. Fine. And this 1 is propagated to the next 0, 0. Fine. Similarly, like this. So this behaves what? This behaves as the self-generating ring counters. Why it is called the self-generating ring counter? Because in this 1 can be generated by this NOR gate. So that's why it is called the self-generating ring counters, means the input is not required manually. Okay. So by this circuit the input can be generated. That's why it is called the self-generating ring counter. Now we will study our next synchronous counter, that is the Johnson counter. So our Johnson counter is also the synchronous counter. The alternative name of Johnson counters are twisted ring counter. It is also called twisted ring counter, switch tail counter. It is also called walking counter. It is also called the Mobius counter. Also called the creeping counter. So these are the alternative names of the Johnson counter. All these names are given based on its operation. Fine. So now first we will study the diagram of our Johnson counter, there is a minor difference between Johnson counter and the ring counter. That's why it is called the twisted ring counter. Fine. So here we will study the 4-bit Johnson counter. You know, in the 4-bit Johnson counter or in the 4-bit Ripple counter, how many flip-flops are used? 4 flip-flops are used in the 4-bit counter. So we can, similarly to ring counter, we can design Johnson counter by D flip-flop or by the JK flip-flop. So first we will design this Johnson counter using D flip-flop. So these are 4 flip-flop. So I am denoting this is D3, Q3, Q3 bar. This is D2, Q2, Q2 bar. This is D1, Q1, Q1 bar. This is D0, Q0, and the Q0 bar. Fine. So it is synchronous counter. So similar to ring counter, it may be positive as triggered or the negative as triggered. Fine. So both type of triggering, in both type of triggering, truth tables remain same, of the operation remains same. So here this is our clock. You know, this is synchronous counter, so all flip-flops clocks are connected to each other. Fine. So this is the clock here. So in the ring counter, this Q0 is connected to the D3. Fine. While in the Johnson counter, this Q0 bar is connected to our D3 as a feedback. Fine. So now this is our Johnson counter, twisted ring counter. Fine. So if we design this using JK flip-flop, then what happens if we replace this D by J, then what happens if we denote this is J3, K3, this is J2, K2, J1, K1, J0, K0. So what happens? This is connected to next here. This Q0 bar is connected to this one, and this is connected to here. And this Q0 is connected to basically what? At this this K3. So this is Johnson counter using JK flip-flop. Fine. Now we will study the truth table of this Johnson counter. So in the truth table of the Johnson counter, first we are denoting this is our clock, this is Q3, this is Q2, Q1 and Q0. Fine. So what happened in the first case? In the first case, if no clock is applied, all flip-flops are in reset position or clear position. So all Q0, Q2, Q1, Q3 all are at 0. Fine. If Q0 is 0, Q0 bar should be 1. So this 1 is given feedback to this D3. So in the next clock, what happens? This D3 is propagated to this Q3. Now this Q3 becomes 1 and others remains 0. What happens in the second clock? Again, in the second clock, what happens? This Q0 remains 0 position and Q0 bars remains in 1 position. So again 1 is given feedback here. So, and this 1 is propagated now to this Q2. So this 1 is propagated to this Q2 and Q3 becomes 1. Q1 remains 0, Q2 remains 1 and Q0 remains 0. Fine. So what happened in the next clock? In the next clock again 1 is given to the feedback to D3. This remains 1. this 1 is propagated to the next, this one is propagated to the Q2, and Q0 remains 0. What happens in the fourth clock? Similarly, now Q0 becomes 1. If Q0 becomes 1, then what happens? If Q0 becomes 1, then it means Q0 bar is 0. Now this Q0 bar 0 is given to the D3. Fine. So what happens in the fifth clock? This Q3 becomes 0 and it remains 1, it remains 1, it remains 1. What happens in the sixth clock? This 0 is propagated to the next, and this 0 against this Q0 bar is given feedback to D3. Fine. So 0, 1, 1. Similarly, what happened in the seventh clock? 0, 0, 0, 1. Eighth clock, all becomes 0. So how many clock cycle is needed for this operation? So basically 8 clock cycles are needed, fine, to complete this Johnson counter. So how many states? So number of maximum states, maximum possible states. Here there are 4 counters, there are 4 flip-flops, so 2 to power 4. So 16 possible states, or maximum number of states is 16. So, but here number of used states, here only 8 states are used. So number of unused states in 4-bit Johnson counter, 16 minus 8 equal to the 8. So if for n bit, number of unused state 2 to power n is the maximum possible number of state, and 2n is our used states. Right? So this is the formula for unused state. Fine. So similarly, what is the clock frequency here? Similar to the ring counter, here TCLK is greater than equal to the TPDF plus setup time. Fine. So frequency of clock is 1 upon TPDF plus setup time. Fine. This is important formula for objective type of questions. In the next lecture, we will discuss about the synchronous counter design. So students, if you have any doubt related to this topic, then you can send me a mail or you can contact me directly. So for more video update, please subscribe this channel, fine, so that every information regarding your course or regarding this digital electronics lectures you can get easily. Fine. Thank you for your attention. So for more video update, please subscribe this channel, fine, so that every information regarding your course or regarding this digital electronics lectures you can get easily. Fine. Thank you for your attention.